tab the city where you are. And then we just give people 2 minutes to join and make sure that everybody's settled. Thank you. Without wasting any time, let's look into the session in terms of what we're going to cover today. We'll explore the latest trends, tools, and strategies shaping the digital marketing and landscape in 2025. And we'll also introduce you to our postgraduate diploma in digital marketing. This program is designed for future-ready marketers like yourself who joined today. And also we'll have a chance to have a Q&A at the end of the session. And lastly, we'll provide the details in terms of those that are interested, how do you apply, and there will be special at the end of the session. So stay with us until the end of the session to be able to get the special. Please note that this session is recorded, and we'll have to share the contact at the end of the detail of the session to ensure that if you need support for the registration for anything, you can contact us. I see from the chat, we have Durban, we have Johannesburg, we also have Soweto. We have Polokwane, Mamelodi. Nice one. All right, great. Before we get into the core of the masterclass today, let me tell you a little bit more about Regenesys Business School and what makes us stand out. For over 25 years, Regenesys has empowered student professionals across the globe with accessible, high-quality education. With strong roots in South Africa, India, and Nigeria. Recently, we branched to Kenya, Botswana, and Namibia. What makes Regenesys unique is our holistic approach. Regenesys, in all the qualification, we ensure that we include a module that is called personal mastery. This module covers the physical quotient, it covers the financial quotient, the emotional intelligence, and also the spiritual intelligence. And we don't just equip you with knowledge, we build the confidence, the capability to apply the knowledge effectively. Our learning models blends theory and real-world application, helping you to develop skills that extend beyond the classroom. With the sessions that Regenesys provide for all the qualification, they make sure that they record the session to make it more flexible because they understand that people are working, they don't have, sometimes you can plan and have a schedule ready, but things happen. So they ensure that the session are recorded, you can download it and watch it at any time convenient to you. Now, let's talk about the main program that we're here for today. It is the Postgraduate Diploma in Digital Marketing. The program that is built for the digital future. In an era where digital transformation is accelerating, this program offers powerful bridge between traditional and modern marketing techniques. Whether you are in marketing already or you're looking to break into the field, this qualification helps you to improve campaigns results. It reduces cost and scale your brands using cutting-edge tools. And I don't want to dive into much into why you want to do this program because I know our speaker today will make sure that you understand and know the details of the program. But just in highlight, we know that digital marketing at this moment is skyrocketing in terms of the demand, and employers are looking for talented professionals. So this qualification will ensure that it equips you with the skills. And you also explore the critical areas such as SEO, social media and content marketing. It also, the qualification is a national and international recognized qualification, which is accredited at NQF level 8. Like I said, I don't want to dwell too much. Our speaker will make sure that he covers everything that you need to know about the program. So whether you are looking to grow into the career role, you want to pivot your career, or simply stay ahead in the digital first world, this program offers a solid foundation to help you achieve your career goals. Now let's move into the exciting trends that redefine the world in the digital marketing in 2025. I would like to introduce to you today Dr. Coetzee. Dr. Coetzee is a highly accomplished academic and industry expert in the field of marketing and digital education. Dr. Coetzee brings with him a wealth of experience across both online and face-to-face learning environments within the private higher education sector, both in South Africa and on the international stage. His extensive background spans marketing management, marketing communication, and more recently, a specialized focus on digital marketing and artificial intelligence. He is not just an academic. Dr. Coetzee is a published contributor to 2 leading South African qualification textbooks in digital marketing, helping to shape the way future marketers understand and apply the discipline. In addition to his subject expertise, Dr. Coetzee plays a critical role in postgraduate research development. He holds a postgraduate supervision qualification from the Center for Higher Education at Stellenbosch University, and currently lectures the research methodology for master's and doctoral candidates. He is also deeply involved in supervising students at both these levels, offering mentorship guidance throughout the academic journey. Beyond the classroom, Dr. Coetzee is highly skilled in developing outcome-based courses and assessment. He is ETDP accredited as an assessment developer, moderator, and course designer, bringing both academic rigor, practical relevance to everything he does. Please join me to welcome the incredible Dr. Coetzee.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, Winnie. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Can I continue? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, as Winnie said, my name is Dr. Coetzee. A number of people just call me Dr. C. And that is because my name and my surname starts with a C. So I'm quite happy if you refer to me as Dr. C. Like when you said, I have many years experience in both academia and in the industry. I've worked for several agencies in South Africa, the UK, and the USA. I always say I'm from a time when a tablet was still a piece of stone with the 10 commandments on it. So I'm that old. So I've grown with this industry, and I think my generation is one of the most interesting generations because we've seen so many things happening and changing. And from a marketing and especially a key accounts manager perspective, we had to adapt to all these technological developments. Otherwise, we would have stayed behind and done our customers a disservice. In my early years in the industry, we basically had TV, newspapers, and billboards to work with. And that has evolved, and we've come a long way from that. We are now in an age where everything is really digitally based, or what I always refer to as electronic media. Not electronic media, connected media. Um, we started with uh, 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 many years ago, and I'm talking now as a society. Um, we started with newspapers, then came the electronic or broadcast media. So we evolved from the modernist era, which was the newspaper era, to the postmodernist era, where we had broadcast media, radio, and TV came in, radio first, TV came in, to where we are now, and which is the meta-modernist era, where we deal with technology, connectivity, and so many platforms that we as marketers can use today. And that is how digital media and digital marketing developed, was with when the internet came to life. The internet developed from a static web where you had one directional communication to the semantic web, which is now in Web 5.0, where we have interactive web. And with the development of interactive web came social media and all of those kind of things. So our marketing platforms has emerged from a static one-way print, which was your newspapers, billboards, placards, posters, leaflets, um, to your electronic media, which was still just one-way communication into the radio and the television, and to what it is today, where we have interactive communication, where we can work in real time uh, uh, um, with our consumers. And it's instead of connected media, I like to refer to it as three-dimensional communication media that we have. So in essence, digital media developed on based on what the consumers wanted. And that comes back, if we take it full circle, to the interactive semantic three-dimensional environment that we live in today, where we can have interactive communication with our consumers. We can see in real time what they want. We can see in real time how they are engaging with our campaigns. And I'll show you examples of that just now. So the question is, does this mean that traditional marketing is obsolete? Um, no, it doesn't. What it means is that what we had in the past now just have a digital footprint. So we've taken print media, we've taken broadcast media, and we've put it in the digital environment. What the digital environment has done is it has just given us more opportunities to work with. So I'm going to look at, just for example's sake and to provide context to the course, at out-of-home media, broadcast media, and print media, and how we have developed that digital footprint into the digital environment. So if we look at billboards, if we look at the traditional approach to billboards, we have what they, first of all, we could, your billboards, your out of home media can reach a lot of people. There's continuous exposure. It was an affordable medium of advertising, and it, of course, increased brand awareness. Now, I always say when I present these things, your cell phone has become your new billboard. If we think about broad reach in terms of a traditional billboard, that billboard is static. It stands where it stands at a specific place, whether it's next to a highway or in a city or in a street, wherever, that remains static. But if you think about your cell phone, how often do you look at your cell phone? Almost immediately, almost, I can say all the time. So if we look at broad reach, continuous exposure, affordability, and brand awareness, we have that continuously on a cell phone. So in actual fact, a cell phone has become the marketer's new billboard. So broad reach, continuous exposure, affordability. It's cheaper to advertise on the media that's reflected on the cell phone, constantly increasing our brand awareness. So what we've done with this footprint of the static billboard is we've taken it digital and we've taken it into the digital environment, and we can reach people constantly on their cell phones because they always have their cell phones with them. Now, if we look in the context of newspapers and magazines, the traditional approach was that newspapers also have a broad and geographically targeted advertising. Magazines was niche targeted based on specific interest. Now, if we take that and we look at how we consume today, how we consume media today, then all of that has gone online. So what are people starting to do? I travel with the Gautrain often. You often see people with their tablets and their cell phones, reading newspapers, reading magazines, listening to music. So just as an example, how this impacts our current society, I just looking for, there we go. All right. I'm just going to share my screen. So if we look at, for instance, the New Yorker, okay? The New Yorker is an American magazine. But as you can see at the top here, we have Take a Lot advertising on there. So not only are we reading a broader geographical target audience, because a South African company can actually advertise. So when you sell media, you would contact the New Yorker and say, if somebody logs in from South Africa, the Take a Lot ad must be displayed. Then we have Old Mutual going, and we had a telecom ad. So these banner ads keep on appearing. Although it is a South African magazine, American magazine, you as a marketer is able to reach the South African audience when they log in to the New Yorker magazine. If we look, for instance, that is a magazine. If we look, for instance, at our own Sowetan Live, look what happens. We have that pop-up ad when we open. Gmail is advertising here. It's actually the Google Workspace that they're advertising. We close that. Look at the ads that are running. So that above the line, in the old days, we used to talk about above the fold is gold. So if you look at how a newspaper was folded, a newspaper was always folded in half. So what was on the top half was gold, because that is what the customer will see first. So the same concept has come into websites as well. If you look at the top, Hollywood Bets is advertising. So it is the first thing that the customer will see. Then they will see the Sowetan Live, the company registration. And as you start scrolling down, there is the news of the day on the left hand. But on the right hand, there are a number of opportunities for us to reach consumers. And if we click on that advertisement, it will take us to that specific website. So there's the Adobe opening. Sorry, my connection is a bit slow. There's the Creative Cloud apps. So immediately you create is what we call a landing page, and we have a hyperlink running with it. There's the next ad. If I click on Radisson, it's going to open the Radisson page for me. So our immediate interactivity with our consumers has evolved. So it's still a newspaper. It's still the Sowetan. All that happened is it went live. And because it went live, it created a number of advertising, real-time advertising opportunities for us. Another thing, if we look at, no, I'll get to that just now. I'm going back to my slides. Just give me a second. So I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I have a really awful cold. Sorry. The digital footprint. We still have the same magazine. We still have the same newspaper. And where we used to pay again for a static advertisement, which only the reader will see, we now have moved online, and there's all this interactivity that is happening. Now, moving on to our radio and TV, which is our broadcast or electronic media, that extended the reach even more from print media. So we could reach people in rural areas with local radio stations. We could put our adverts on there. We had SABC 1, 2, and 3, and E-News, and then came Mnet. And today we have access to a diverse amount of streaming that we can access our entertainment media on. So again here, from the static but extended reach, we now can reach people online from different perspectives. So I just want to close this. So if we look, for instance, our news are now being broadcast. Remember, we used to sit in front of the TV, those of you that are old enough, and wait for the 7 o'clock news and then the weather forecast after that. We can now read our news on the go. And again here, there's the news programs, we can watch, replay videos, replay inserts from what is on the news of the day on ENCA. But as you can see, as I scroll down, there are the adverts. Again here, a real-time platform for you to advertise on. There is Qatar Airways, and then right up the top, I think this is Temu advertising here. Yeah, that is definitely Temu. So again here, online real-time advertisement. Now, when we do this course, we will show you and teach you how this all comes together, how to create content, when to decide which advert goes where, how to create audiovisual ads, because the internet or your three-dimensional media runs on audio-visual content. Okay. If we think about radio, we are streaming our radio programs today. This is, I don't know how many of you know about this website. It's called Radio South Africa. And again here, there are basically all the radio stations in South Africa. You can even select them by type of music, news, radio, dance, electronic, whatever, jazz, blues. Or if you know the radio station, you can select it here and you simply click play and you stream the radio. But again here, look at what we are marketing. Again here, we have a banner ad, we have pop-up ads. If you click on it, it will take you by at an escort. So that will open the website for you. There we go. And immediately we have created a connection with our consumer from a website such as ENCA or Radio South Africa. Yeah, it's Radio South Africa. That's what it's called. So, don't know who's interested in buying an Audi. Oh, it's Avis Luxury Car Rentals. At the bottom, you can also see ads at the bottom. There's Sage. Again, if I click on it, immediate connection with our consumers. So the whole thing is the three-dimensionality with which we are working is based on our connectivity with our consumers and the real-time effect that we get. And I'll show you now. Let me just see what I've got. Oh, first, this one first. Okay. Which one are we going? Who can take a guess where I'm going now? We've done print and we've done outdoor and we've done TV and radio. Which one is next? Who can take a guess? Lunga, yes, of course. Guguleto, I saw your request there, but for now, I'm just going to get through the presentation. We can maybe connect at a later stage, and then I can maybe give you feedback. Lunga, yes, of course. Not the new kid on the block, but the next one is our social media. And even here, connecting with your consumer has even become more focused. So what we have here is we have different social media platforms. Well, the ones that stood the test of time. We have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, which is now Twitter, which is now X, LinkedIn, TikTok. Wait, my drawing is going for a loop. So each one of them has a specific target market, and we can design different content to them, each of those content with their own strategies attached to it. We can run the same ad, but we can customize our ad real time so that it appeals to the different platforms, social media platforms that we have. And this is based on a lot of research, and this research is actually information, is what we refer to as scraping, that was scraped from the internet to determine what are the profiles of consumers that are engaging with these types of social media platforms. Another thing that became highly beneficial for a digital marketer is the real-time campaign management, the real-time statistics that we get when we run a campaign. I'm just going to show you on Google quickly, Google Analytics and Power BI. Where am I now? Sorry, ladies and gents, I lost my train there for a moment. When we're running, the interesting thing here is what you must keep in mind is analytics is a Google platform. Power BI is a Microsoft platform. They're not the same company, but in essence, they deliver all more or less very much the same information for us on the dashboard. We look at Power BI. It gives us there the index pages, pages with clicks, impressions, your CTR and your average position. There is it over since August last year to February this year. This is just a demonstration website, a demonstration page. When you're actually engaging with it, when it's your own company, you will see it up to today, to the hour, and to the minute. Okay, so this is just a demonstration, and look how fantastic it is. You can, if you hover over it, you can see what was happening exactly at that point. There's your clicks or impressions. By device, there is your best performance hyperlinks. Remember, when I showed on the when we're on the Sweaten and the ENCA page, if I click on that ad, the moment I click on it, my campaign registers, and this is the site or the hyperlink that I see where the customer came from to engage. So if it was a social media page, an advert that I put on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, then it will register that it comes from what do you call it, the social media page. So this is where we then see which which campaign is actually running on the highest and giving us the most ROI. I just want to go up. You can, of course, just view by device, which is something that's very interesting for me. If we go to mobile, sorry, my connection is a bit slow. It has to open mobile. Yeah, there it is. Then we can see how it changes the information. I just want to go down here. There is the clicks per or impressions, and there again is where it came from, mobile. Okay, if I go to Google Analytics, Google Analytics is a bit more involved. This is again just an example. Google made this available for us for teaching. If I have my dashboard at the top, I can view a report snapshot. If I click on there, there's my reports, snapshot of it. I can see top countries and active users on my page. I can see new users by channel. There is a graphic representation. I can see, where they came from, what they were viewing, what the page view was, were they shopping, and does it come from a cross network, what they were paying, are buying, all of that. I can even see in terms of metrics, how many user acquisitions did we have. I'm just going to let it run. So there's my user acquisitions, total, direct, organic search, paid search, referrals, cross network. And all of these things are the things. This is what was referred to earlier as SEO, search engine optimization, where we use this data to create, to analyze our metrics and we use the statistics to analyze our metrics, and we will teach you about each of this during the course. So it might feel a bit overwhelming now, but it's just an overview of what you are going to walk away with when we are dealing with this course. So you can see engagement, even if you click on pages and screens like we had with Power BI. It's fine like that. So we can see here, if we hover over it, what was new, check out, where did people get off the page, because that is a big challenge if you look at website marketing, is people will click on your product, they will review it, they will do price comparisons. Some of them go up to the point of the basket and then they drop off. Then you got to be ready and you got to get your communications going. Remember, it's real time. So then you must say, I see you were interested in this, try this, and give them another picture of another product that's similar to this one. Or, what is the favorite line that they use is 10 people have also viewed this product. So those are the kind of hooks that you put out there in real time, because you can see in real time what is happening with your marketing campaigns. All right, back to the slideshow. There we go. Okay. Right, so that is campaign management. And who can tell me who's the new kid on the block in terms of digital marketing? Who wants to take a shot? Who's the new kid on the market? Lunga again. Lunga, you so. I'm not going to try. Nkondiso, is it right? Am I saying it right?
Yes, Nkondiso.
Nkondiso. Awesome. Yes. Okay, yes, absolutely. It is AI. AI has emerged to make our lives so much easier. But I do want to hang with AI for a moment and just make something clear here. There is this complete misconception that AI is going to take over our world, it's going to take over our lives, it's going to take over everything. That's, and pardon my French and all the other languages, bullshit. That's absolute nonsense. We are generations away from that. Most of what is flared up in the media are hypotheses. It is generations away from that. And I always say to people, stop for a moment. Think for yourself. Who is going to switch on that computer to do all these things that people are talking about? Somebody must still switch on that computer. We are generations away from that. But what we do have is an AI, I can almost say AI collective that can make our lives much easier. If you think of it in terms of Google, when Google came into our lives, basically all the search engine pages, when the search engines came in our lives, it developed obviously from very static to what it is today. And it is based on keywords. So if you are looking for something, let's say Edgar's men's shoes, it is going to that spider is crawling the entire internet, and it will 99% drop out a page from Edgar's website about men's shoes. That is what we call the landing page. We will explain to you in the class how landing pages are constructed, and you click on it from Google and you go directly to the website. Now, what we use in Google are search keywords. Okay, we don't always have the URL. The URL is the website identity. We don't always have that. So if you just know, let's say we'll be searching for Edgar's, then if you type in Edgar's, it will take you to Edgar's homepage. But the moment you start adding on keywords, the more refined your search will be. Now, bringing that back in to AI, AI work on exactly the same concept, but instead of looking for URLs or landing page URLs, AI goes global. Okay, it is what we call large language models. So Google Go and it runs through the AI app you use like ChatGPT goes and in seconds, and that is the amazing thing for me about it. I mean, I'm from a time when we had to fax stuff and post stuff and all of that and had a connected landline. For me, the immediateness of it is still very, very amazing. But like we have Google search keywords, in AI, we call it prompts. Okay, so you are prompting the AI app to perform a certain task for you. Now, if you look at all the images, not this specific one that's currently up, but all the other graphics I have in my slides, I created that when I was preparing for the webinar on Microsoft Designer, which is a very limited AI app, but it still delivers the basic visuals for you. There's of course way more intricate AI apps where you can manage your visuals and adjust them and all sorts of things. We can create AI influencers, beautiful things that we can do. But the thing is, AI now works on prompts, and you got to. And I'm going to show you now how it works. You gotta get your prompt right in order to get the desired results. Because now remember, when Google just look for Google and Fox and Safari, and then only looks for hyperlinks or URLs. AI goes in and it collects information from large learning models. Okay, large language models. Sorry, not learning. Large language models. Excuse me for a moment. So coming back to this, what's on the screen before I show you, we are currently just in narrow and reactive. These are all still just hypotheses. So that is why we call it, because of the prompts and the delivery, generative. So it is reactive. The machine will only perform what you tell it to perform. So, and then from there on, it generates AI for you, the results, and then you can work with that. So in terms of marketing, I'm just going to do, we unfortunately don't have all the time in the world. I would have loved to spend more time on this. I see I'm running short on time. I'm going to wrap up just now. In the bigger scheme of things, your AI is a tool to make your life easier. And it is there for us to capitalize on and obviously capitalize responsibly on it. Let me just share. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to write an email quickly. Of course, we will teach you all the other stuff when you enroll for the course. I like to make my courses fun because I always call it playtime. Let's play. I'm just going to write a quick email. So if we look at the prompts, I have a business. Okay, I must actually share this just to give you context. There we go. I have a fictitious business. Okay. The company's name is Drop Juice and it makes fresh preservative-free healthy juices. Okay. So my prompt engineering is the company, the tagline, the hashtag, the product, and then the hook. So I want to send a promotional email to my customers. So I've got my customer data, my big data set that I collected as consumers engage with our products. We also have perspectives that I don't necessarily have to buy because we've seen where they came from. So we collect their data. It is what we call big data. So I have my big data set of consumers. So now I've engineered my prompt. There's my engineering. I've typed in the information. So now I take my prompt. I'm just copying this, and I'm going to the AI app, which is Write Mail. So what am I doing? There you put your name there. I will then pull in my database, my big database, my data for who I want to send it to, which customers. Maybe I can personalize this to a specific person or group of targeted consumers. Whatever, we put that in there. It's always good to put a more generic, if this is a generic promotion. So let's say the drop juice healthy. Okay, so I paste my prompt, which I've engineered in there. So drop juice, the tagline is break the rules, live healthy. There's my hashtag, choose health. There's about my products, and there is the hook, which is my promotion. Okay, now if I scroll down a bit, generate the language, automatically decide. I always leave it on auto. You can always redo. The style, I want it to be, I can choose different styles. I'm choosing inspiring. The tone is casual. Now, let's make it friendly. I'm not going, enthusiastic. I'm not adding emojis because I feel emojis is unprofessional. Now look on the left-hand screen. Okay, so it will tell us how much time we have saved as well. Just an interesting thing. So I've got everything now. So now I'm writing my email. Give it a couple of seconds. There's my email. Like that. Save 23 minutes. So there's my email. Let's see what it says. There's the headline. New juices are here. Grab your 50 Rand 6-pack before June 30th. So that is my email heading line. It starts with ready to shake up your juice game. Healthy living should never be boring. We're expanding our vitamin C. You can see all the information that I had in my prompt is there. We 3 new bold flavors that was in my prompt. So to celebrate, we're offering you a limited deal. There's my deal, very nicely put out there. There's my choose health hashtag. Stock up now. There is the prompt to react, and it says best regards, the drop juice health team. So this was written in 4 seconds, and it saved us 6 minutes. So imagine that. If you have your prompt right and you put it in there and you use the right AI apps for marketing, there it is, 4 seconds, and we had an email. Brilliant, brilliant. I just absolutely, I think how we had to struggle in the old days to get through it all. Yeah, then I simply marvel in what we have today. Am I sharing the right screen? There we go. All right. Sorry, ladies and gents, I don't think I'm sharing the right screen. There we go. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Right. So if you're considering this course, what's in it for you? There are many, many, many career prospects for you. You can become a specialist, an SEO specialist, social media manager. What I like specifically, because I like the creative stuff, is a content strategist or a copywriter. You can become an email marketing specialist, a pay-per-click specialist, analyst, because you have all the analytics. You use AI these days to get your analytics. You can even become a marketing consultant. You yourself can become an influencer, create branded content, and an audience delivery manager. And those are just a few of it. What I say to first-time students, the undergrads, we must keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that we are our society, this meta-modern society of us, is developing from the corporate culture to a entrepreneurial culture. And the digital advancement has made that possible that you can become an entrepreneur. Now, when we look at all of this, there's an opportunity for you to specialize in any of the digital fields, where you then outsource your services to businesses and steer away from the corporate um, environment. They use advertising agencies or digital agencies, but start focusing on the many, many, many small businesses that are springing up around us. Those people, 90% of the time, knows about social media. They know about a website. They know that they must have a website, but they don't know what to do with it. And trust me, I specialized in small to medium enterprise marketing and creating digital strategies for them. And then they're all like, wow, sales are picking up. Oh, I get all these messages. I say, see, and it's not costing you an arm and a leg because the SME or SMME hardly ever have the budget that the corporates have. So your digital marketing is a cost-effective move for your small businesses to create awareness, to create about the company, to market their products, but they need that specialist to do it because 90% of the time they know what the platforms are, but they don't know how to effectively integrate it. Now, from a Regenesys perspective, we run the course on 9 modules. Winnie has referred to the personal mastery as well. The personal mastery, I'm just going to pick up on what Winnie said, is a mandatory course for all Regenesys students. And it's a holistic approach to help you not only to develop, but also how are you coping with studying, working, family life, all those things that comes together for you. So all our modules in this course is mandatory. We do the introduction to marketing and digital marketing. We work with SEO, then we work with SEM, that is search engine marketing, how to create those campaigns. Then we look at SEO, that was where we look at the analytics. We looked at content creation, affiliate and mobile marketing, social media marketing, online reputation, and then the big A, which is integrated IMC, integrate. How do we integrate everything to get maximum exposure for our product or our client's product? And then just quickly on our assessment structure, apologies. After each module, for each module, you will do 2 assignments. The one is what we call a small assignment, and then the other one is big assignment. The one is 50 marks, the other one is 100 marks. The 50 marks one is usually just one question. It is not a very long assignment, I think 1,200 words. And then we have the bigger assignment. Our assignments are based on scenarios, cases. I will most probably, in the short assignment, the 50 marks one, ask you to create something, and then that will be your assignment, whereas the bigger assignment will be more critical analysis, etc. And then at the end of the course, you don't write exam about personal mastery. Personal mastery also has a different assessment structure. So I'm going to draw the line there for the the general module, the digital marketing modules, that is your assessment structure. And then right at the end of the course, you will write an exam. I think it's a 2 or 3 hour exam consisting of 4 or 6 questions, depending on the examiner. And that will, the exam will cover everything, all 8 the digital marketing modules. It's written online, so not a lot of issues. If you are in the outlying areas, you log in at a certain time, and you have a certain time to complete the exam. You do it completely online. Your assignments are also submitted online. We grade it online. You get your feedback online. So yes, let's go digital, ladies and gentlemen. That is my story for now. I'm going to allow for a Q&A session with Winnie. I'm standing by that if there's any questions for me, that you are welcome to ask. But I think it's now over to Winnie. Thank you very much for attending, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in my class. Goodbye from me.
Thank you so much, Dr. C. I will take questions. You can type in, there's a Q&A. Type in your question, or you can type in on the chat if you have any questions. All right. While we're waiting for questions, I will talk about the process of application. I believe the session was so insightful, and everybody's asking, how do I get to register for this qualification? Okay. I see there's a question here. What is the duration and cost? Okay, the duration of the qualification is 12 months, which is 1 year. And then the cost, you can drop in your email. I will share the fee structure with you. How do the exams are deemed to be passed? You have to get a 50% overall for your exams. In terms of the NQF level, okay, the NQF level of the qualification is NQF level 8. All right, Tumelo, thank you for the email. We'll share the fee structure. Will we receive a certificate after this masterclass? No, you will receive a certificate after completing your postgraduate diploma. Is this a postgraduate or an undergraduate certification? It is a postgraduate qualification, which means you have to have a minimum of NQF level 7, which is a junior degree, to qualify for this qualification. Yes, can you share the information with me? Yes, I will share the information with you. Next intake, I believe the next intake will be the mid-year, which is July intake. Another question is there a master's level qualification post the postgraduate diploma? Dimpo, I don't know if you're referring to digital marketing. Currently for digital marketing, we do not have a master's, but we have a master's in business administration, which we call an MBA. Okay, let me go to Q&A.
I just want to, sorry, when
yes.
I just want to come in there, I just want to answer Dimpo. Once you completed the PDDM, then you qualify to apply for the MBA as well. So it is not a wasted qualification. If you want to continue with the MBA, then you can apply. Am I right, Winnie?
That is correct, yes. Okay. Is the institution accredited by NCHE, National Council of Higher Education? Yes, we are. All our qualifications are accredited and also registered with SAQA. You can check Regenesys on SAQA. You will see the qualification and the NQF levels. What do you need to qualify for the course? You need a bachelor's degree, which is NQF level 7. Is there any specifics undergrad degree required or any undergrad is permitted? If you have any undergrad that is NQF level 7 accredited, you will qualify. There's a question for Dr. C. Your comment on masters did not get the comment. Okay. Dimple, Dr. C was mentioning that after completing your postgraduate diploma, you will then qualify to do a master's degree. And then Jennifer, is the qualification recognized overseas in all countries? The qualification, yes, is accredited and recognized internationally. So what does this mean when we say recognize? For instance, if I want to go to another country to study, I can submit my qualification with they have their own verifying bodies in their countries. For instance, when somebody comes and studies in South Africa, they have to take their qualification to SAQA, and then they will translate us to tell us this qualification is equivalent to NQF level 6 or level 7. Then we admit that person into the program. So similar to that, when you go to another country, they will translate your qualification according to the levels of that country, and then you'll be able, should you want to work, should you want to study further, you will be able to do that. Okay, the questions are coming in very fast. Is the qualification okay? Thank you for the great session. We'll receive certification of understanding. There's no certificate of attendance for this session. What would you recommend as most important skill to master right now in the digital marketing, especially with AI becoming more? Dr. C, I think this is for you. Yeah, what would you recommend as the most?
Yeah, I saw it and I was ready for it. The thing is, AI is not becoming dominant. AI is just supportive. Like I explained, it is at this moment a tool to help you with your digital marketing. Look, you cannot really look at digital marketing in silos because of the interactivity of it. And the interactivity is not just between the consumer in the business, but there's also the interactivity between the different platforms, from your website to your social media to YouTube, all of those kind of things. So the concept of mastering, and that's why we have integrated marketing communications. So it is now integrated digital marketing communications. You cannot look at it in silos anymore because of, we have interactivity between devices. We have interactivity between platforms. We have interactivity between business and consumer. So there's areas of specialization. If you like social media more, go for that, specialize in that. But you cannot really say that there is just one skill to master. There is several skills in addition to interactivity, and that is content creation, analytics, all of those things. But again, you've got to look at it as a whole and not in silos. And therefore, you need to have a thorough comprehension of digital marketing before you can even think of specializing. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you, Dr. C. I will go to the Q&A questions. There's a few questions, some they've been answered. I'm still unsure. I have a BCom degree. Can I apply? Yes, Sila, you can apply for the postgraduate diploma if you have a BCom degree. Online, does it take a year as well? Yes, it does. Are there any short courses or further study opportunities at Regenesys for someone interested in advanced digital marketing or AI? Yes, you can go to our website, Digital Regenesys. You find the short skills program that are there. The next question, how can we leverage today's knowledge to improve our CV, to attract the potential employee in digital field?
The second question is by specializing. So look at a specialized field. I will also suggest that you do a course in coding. Regenesys, coding is very, very handy when you working in digital. Although we have a lot of apps and so on, it's always good to have some level of coding. We present some coding courses as well, especially Python. It seems JSON cannot handle the large language media anymore, LLMs. So it is Python Python is quite easy to use as well and to learn. So I would suggest if you are going to specialize, that will attract information to your CV and you can more accurately target companies, but also invest in a coding qualification as well. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. C. I've tapped in my email address. If you need more information, if you have more questions, you can send to the email. Just to wrap up in terms of the qualifying criteria for the qualification, you need an NQF level 7 bachelor's degree or any advanced diploma, which is NQF level 7, then you can qualify to do this qualification. So what you can do on our website, we have an apply button where you can click submit your details. Our student support will definitely contact you to assist you with the process. I did make mention in the beginning that we have a special for you. So if you submit your application within the next 72 hours, you will qualify for an exclusive early bird tuition discount. So don't miss out on that opportunity. That's it from my end. Thank you so much, Dr. C, for making time to address the session. If you're interested, make sure that you click on the button on our website, click apply, or you can contact me via the email address that I've provided. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Winnie. And from my side, thank you, everyone. Looking forward to see you in the class. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye.